So perfect. Ivan, I welcome you and thank you for your time. I'm really, really glad that I can have you on here. I'm looking forward to have a great conversation with you. And I think for starters, it's great if you can give me a short introduction of who you are and what's special about you and your company.
Yes, hi Sacha. It's a real pleasure to have this interview with you. So, a few words about me. I was born in 1971. I have a master in art history, and I have 4 kids. I've been working in the video games industry since 1994, and I've been a game designer, a publisher. I had a production company, and I'm involved in cloud gaming for 12 years. And I founded Gamestream 5 years ago. And I have a lot of projects and ideas. I'm passionate about innovation and technology. And I'm very, very happy to be here to share this with you.
Amazing, cool. So I'm gonna follow up with a small introduction for the listeners and viewers. So my name is Sacha Ghiglione. I'm CEO and board member of the Swiss IT manufacturer Prime Computer. With our smartly designed products, we help companies to achieve their digitization and environmental goals whilst reducing their lifetime cost of ownership. My personal vision is to motivate the people and to be more environmental friendly or thoughtful about our home, our planet, Earth, the only one we have, and everyone around me and myself to push to be the best version of themselves. And I try I can do that in order to create more awareness, in order to be just a kind human being. So in this case, I'd like to start and asking you the first question. So we can also see it on your background. You describe Gamestream as the future of gaming. So why do you think is Gamestream the future of gaming, Iman?
Okay, so you see, in music and video, people are not buying so much hard copies anymore, and they are streaming more and more. And I believe that streaming is also the future of gaming. That's the first point. And in the last study from Yuzu, they mentioned that by the end of this year, cloud gaming would represent like $585 million revenues, and it will be 5 billion revenues by 2025. And so we are on a very interesting market, a booming market. And it's very logical that usage is more and more turning into streaming because 5G, first of all, will completely help the switch and will help people to have more and more data going from their, to play their favorite games. And the hardware itself is more and more helpful for that and can carry more and more data as well. You know that pretty well. And I also believe that usage will be more and more into streaming because content is also improving and content is more and more adapted to streaming. When you think about that, kids don't like having like 40 minutes downloading a game on the console or whatever. And the good point with streaming is that you can play instantly. And so users are already ready for that. So they only need a good offer with the right people, and I guess we'll be like the leader of this switch.
Amazing. You're right. I see so many things in what you just said, and it's quite interesting that from this sharing use we get more and more into streaming any kind of things, and you're totally right in that. So what do you think is your exactly does your game streaming work, and what distinguish actually you from any competitor?
Okay, so we have been working a lot on the IT side, and we have all the technology completely homemade. So that's our own IPs, our own technology. We don't depend on nobody on that. And we provide everything to our clients as a turnkey solution. which is not the case of other cloud gaming solutions pushing their own brand and their own solution. And meaning that we are pushing our own servers as well. Meaning that we could work a lot on the optimization of the number of sessions for this kind of servers. And I think that we are very green and very ecological because we can raise a point where we have a lot of sessions in parallel on one server. So it's using less power than the competitors. And I also believe that we are very advanced on the 5G aspect. We've been working with Nokia, Huawei, Ericsson, and we are already deployed in Switzerland, especially with one of them, and in Taiwan with another one. So we have this incredible experience in 5G, this experience on the server and hardware side, which is very helpful to bring a very a green solution. And at the end of the day, I believe that we can bring our technology on any kind of device. We are already providing that on PC, smart TVs, smartphones, Mac, and today we don't have any limit on the device aspect. So if you consider that in the future people will like to stream their games on any kind of device at any time, I think that we are already in the good position to be the leader.
Absolutely, you're totally right. Amazing. So this is interesting. I think we can let the people know how we collaborate. I think that it's interesting here in this case to see that Gamestream, with its cutting-edge cloud gaming solution and Prime Computer as a manufacturer of innovative hardware, we want to open up new markets and opportunities through our cooperation. And for Switzerland, because we are from Switzerland, obviously, the initial focus will be on the hotel market and the healthcare market. But as both companies grow in different territories over a trajectory over the next 12 to 18 months, we will certainly see new possibilities of business development and strategies which will align along the way. So what we are doing, as you mentioned, you can stream your Gamestream is streamable on actually any device, but on those in the sectors, on B2B sectors, where a TV or a smartphone is not in this kind usable, because obviously hotels, they want to provide something else, and not every TV can, as I do understand, use this device. And there is Prime Computer coming in. We provide an IoT device, or actually a mini PC device, which can then deliver through Gamestream to the end consumer. This is our way. But we also are in parts of developing together as a company, as both companies grow, a new solutions in order to minimize the footprint, in order to get access everywhere when always possible. And this is currently still a growing and developing measurement. What hardware is required, if hardware is required? Ivan.
Yeah, so I think you're right. In hospitality, you need to bring a plug-and-play solution. So it needs to be very simple to set up, simple to and to follow, to fix, and that's what you are bringing to Gamestream, because you bring a set-up box which is 100% ecological and durable, very good for our customers, our clients, and I think for the earth as well. And we are trying to bring this turnkey solution with your hardware in hospitality, especially because it's very resistant. And that's one of the only box worldwide which can turn 24 hours on 7 days without being shut down and up again, which is great, because in this kind of environment, you can't just, like stop and start again every device. And I also believe that your hardware is very interesting due to its ability to to receive the H.265 resolutions and flows. And we are using H.265 at the video format in order to divide by 2 the number of data we are sending on fiber or we are sending on 5G. So it means that when we are using one of your set-top box, we don't need 12, but only 6 megabytes for a 1080p solution, which is absolutely fantastic for hotels and hospitals where bandwidth is very limited for this kind of usage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. This is amazing news. So yeah, let's figure out the next question then. I think industries and areas where I see the greatest potential in order for our cooperation would mean my biggest potential I see is in the medical sector. Maybe this year is a special year due to a lot of different happenings, we know. But I know also a little bit from personal fact about our conversation we had. This is something really special, where through gaming we can reach some sort of satisfaction and maybe a healing factor in the medical sector. Maybe we can talk about that in a bit. But I see that in order our devices, obviously they are fanless, and so there is no additional bacteria, something getting out of any case, really robust, and once installed, they never stop working. So this is something we really, on a long term, want to integrate nearly everywhere possible, if we can. We're working in different hospitals already in the Middle East and in Switzerland, and want to integrate obviously this kind of service, Gamestream as a service for those in need. And maybe you have a few words about that connection.
You know I do. You know that my first motivation when I created Gamestream was about that. Because I think that, I mean, I can see that many games are already developed for the hospitality sector. And I believe that video games, even if that's more like some serious game than, you know, like classic video games, but this kind of serious games can bring a lot to people in the hospitals. It happened with games about cancer in California, with a game called Remission. And it happens in many universities and schools. They are proposing some content about disease, which are really helpful for the people. And all these projects had to stop in many places because of the hardware. And the hardware was very difficult to manage, especially in hospitals with bacteria. And that's why we especially like your hardware, because it's very easy to clean. You know, the shape is very easy to clean in one gesture for the hospital staff. And so we can deploy some kind of video game solution massively in hospitals and provide these kind of games to the patients thanks to this fantastic shape. And on my side, you know that I really want to bring this kind of content to hospitals because I still believe that we are at the start of video games and many new formats will arrive, like episodic games. Episodic games are already representing a huge part of the sales in worldwide. And I also believe in these games for health, which will be more and more popular, maybe by 10 years. But what is 10 years in the story of, you know, humankind? It's nothing.
Yes, absolutely. Can you just elaborate for people not knowing what does episode games mean? What does it mean?
Oh, it means that you can follow video game like you are following a series today. So better than having your new episode every week, you can play a new episode of your games maybe every month, because every week will be too short for the developers. And so you can, I mean, you will be able to subscribe some games to play them every month with a new episode of your story. And for example, one of the more famous episodic game is Life is Strange from our friends don't know. And it's a very, very popular games with millions and millions of sales.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so you just mentioned a little bit about the future. I'm now getting to that. How will Gamestream further evolve in the next few years? Do you have an opinion to that? Obviously.
Yeah, sure. I mean, true. I believe that we will continue to dig on the technology side and to improve our product and to improve our technology. But we already reached a very interesting point where we are innovating, and we are followed by a lot of worldwide technology companies trying to see how they could work with us. And that's a very interesting position. On the sales aspect, you know, we are selling our solution to the leaders of as telecom operators in each country. And I think that by the next 2 years, we will cover a large part of Southeast Asia, Middle East, and Europe. And in the future, I think that we'll be more working with hardware companies like Prime Computer and maybe some other hardware providers on other sectors, and be present maybe in OEM or as a solution already present on your PC or your tablet when you buy it. And I also believe that our strategy to be present worldwide and our ability to set up some teams in Taiwan, Singapore, Dubai is a real knowledge. And this knowledge can bring us to many, many interesting new countries, emerging countries especially.
Absolutely. I have another thought about that, that not just medical hospital whatsoever, but seeing that we have possibilities in companies, in B2B companies, or not even just in B2B, but in companies in general. There is new generation, millennials coming on, Gen Z, etc. And everybody is hardly working, but you see it that you have always the leisure zones, and that in companies you wanna get that gamification also, right? Not just in sales, but also the games, internal games, and fighting and being better and or strategy wise. And I think it will more and more. It's not just a startup thing, right? But it will be more and more incorporated in our day of work, that we get 20 minutes off, 50 minutes off, have a game there, a game online through Gamestream with maybe different sectors in different company, in the same company but in different countries. So you can schedule games. I think this could be something in order also to get the motivation in the company up. Yes.
Yes, on this aspect, I believe that esports is on the same kind of idea where you are making competitions through video games. And even if what you mentioned is not like a competition, it's more like serious gaming in companies. But when you think about that, in companies, you have some like competition between a few managers sometimes, and it could be great to help them, you know, manage their competition skills by playing games. It can help.
This is thoughtful. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we have Gamestream also obviously installed here in the office. We need to test it, and it's well used. So I have great experiences. We have obviously full version and looking for different games. I'm always seeing my teams playing, and I have one game. Maybe you can help me out with the name. I don't recall it. So it's similar to it's a race game. It's similar to Mario Kart, but based with Formula One drivers. It's so you're driving in carts and can throw things like Mario Kart, but with Raikkonen, with Hamilton and stuff like that. You have a name for that? I don't remember it. It's an amazing, interesting game, and it is really competitive.
Do you know from which publisher?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
But it's on your device. But we get to that maybe later in the interview. One further point, coming now a little bit away from the business cases. I think something what people really want to know is, having worked so long in the gaming industry and being well aware of the yeah, possibilities that comes up and the opportunities. So you certainly are someone that is really tight on their schedule and has a lot of decisions to make. So how do you motivate yourself? Where do you get your motivation from?
But first of all, my motivation, my first motivation when we founded the company and we were just two people and we didn't have any money. My first motivation was to bring a new generation of game distribution where people can play anytime, anywhere, on any device and at a very affordable price, and getting the confidence from the publishers. And we did that. And I wanted to do that because I believe that the future of video games is in this kind of very easy usage, like Netflix. You don't think about that. You just play either on your phone, your PC, your mobile, your TV, whatever, right? And I can see, because we're present in Indonesia, we are present in Taiwan, and we are in Dubai. I can see that in many countries, this kind of usage are very popular, and even in countries like Indonesia, where they don't have so much money to buy a console, but at least they can play video games by streaming subscription, and they just love it. So we are bringing something new to these people. And I also believe a lot in hospitals and the fact we can bring that in the hospitals. But first, you have your own motivation, and after a while, you need to have a great team. And I would say that my team today is my, maybe not first, second motivation, I don't know, but that's my day-to-day motivation. I have a fantastic team of managers, a fantastic team of developers and graphists and testers, and everyone today is very involved in the company's success. And honestly, that's my first motivation when I wake up in the morning, to see all these people. Even if with COVID, a lot of people are working from home, but a lot of them are pushing to come to the office, which means that we have, I think, a good, culture, and we like working together. That's great.
Amazing, great answer. Thank you so much. To round it up, to put it in a nutshell and finish it, I'd like, and I always do that, I hope you're up to that, to some easier questions, right? So that people in just 30 to 45 seconds get to know you, what your favorite things are. So I'm gonna ask you either or maybe you can choose both. Your answer is always correct.
Good.
So let's start. PC or console?
Console.
French
Easy and
chanson,
fun.
French chanson or rock?
Rock and baroque.
Paris or Côte d'Azur?
More Paris, but I would say Amsterdam for me is a great city. My wife is Dutch, and I like Amsterdam. You feel like it's you have a bicycle, and everything is very green, and the city is very active and international. I love that.
Dreamer or realist?
Both.
Gourmand ou gourmet?
Gourmet, definitely.
Beer or wine?
Sorry?
Beer or wine?
Oh, wine, definitely wine. I mean, I grew up in a beer country in the north of France, but honestly, I mean, wine is more subtle and very interesting. Yes, wine.
Mountains or the ocean?
Mountains help you to reach the sky, and oceans are more mysterious and with unexplored worlds. I like both.
Rolex or smartwatch?
More smartwatch.
Bicycle or car?
Both, and especially in Paris today, you can't just be with your car. So, I mean, I had to change, and more. I'm more and more bicycle. So,
Football or rugby?
rugby.
Amazing. Perfectly, Ivan. This would be then. Thank you so much for being with us. This was amazing getting to know you a little bit about our cooperation, and I'm happy if we see each other soon again.
Thank you for your very interesting questions. Thank you for your kindness, and I hope to see you soon. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.